Good morning and welcome to this decision session. Very welcome to people in the room. We've got one officer also joining us online, and we have some members of the public observing the meeting. As with all meetings, this is live streamed and you will be able to follow it online or watch later. My name is Katie Lomas. I am the exec member for Finance, Performance, Major Projects and Equalities. I don't have any interests to declare for this item. So I'll move on to the minutes of the last meeting, which I was not at, but I've had no indication that anyone wants to make any changes to those meetings, so I'll sign them afterwards. We don't have anybody registered to speak in public participation, but I am very grateful for members of the public coming along, and we have had a nice conversation earlier so that they can let me know their views about the matters for discussion today. So we'll move to item 4, the financial inclusion and welfare benefits outturn. Pauline, over to you.
Thank you, Councillor Lomas. This is the annual report that covers all matters to do with financial inclusion activity in the council, and also where the council administers welfare benefits support. That's not all benefits, because some benefits such as the universal credit is administered by the government, but we do comment on that as well. Importantly, this gives you a barometer in how our residents are faring with the cost of living crisis following the pandemic. And importantly, the context is outlined in paragraph 2, but also table 6 on page 15 in terms of the universal credit level of claimants, which, whilst we have still comparatively low unemployment in the city, we do have a high number of universal credit claimants. Pre-COVID, that stood around 5,500 to 6,000 on average per month. It's still at 11,700 at the end of the last financial year, which is still almost double pre-COVID, which tells you that a lot of people are still relying on benefits coming out of the pandemic and into the cost of living crisis, and that number is continuing to rise. So there's still a significant issue in the city. And of course, we're at the stage of still receiving household support fund from the government to support families. We're on our 4th scheme now, which is a year-long scheme compared to 6 monthly schemes previously. And that was on top of COVID grant schemes as well. So the report summarises the financial support available to residents over the year last year, an update on benefit statistics and performance in terms of what the council's delivered, including the emergency York financial assistance scheme and other financial inclusion activity during the year, including the delivery of the financial inclusion grant scheme, which has delivered a wide range of benefits to our residents over that period. I'd just like to finally thank all the teams involved across the council who continue to go over and above and beyond to deliver the schemes and support, including communities, revenues and benefits teams, housing, business support and ICT to deliver the payments. So thank you to all of those staff that are involved. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Pauline, and I echo that thanks. I know that myself and fellow councillors have seen the work that everyone's doing to trying to get the help where it's needed the most during quite a difficult time. I think that figure of universal credit claimants is quite shocking, a doubling of universal credit claimants at a time when we are facing such a cost of living crisis. So I'm grateful for your report. I know we've got Susan on the line. I don't know if there's anything you want to add, Susan?
No, not unless anybody's got any specific questions. I think we've tried to put as much information as we can in the report to give a clear picture of what we've been doing.
That's great. Thank you so much. And thank you for such a comprehensive report. It certainly makes for interesting reading. I don't have any further questions, and so I'm very happy to receive that report. So we move now back in papers to the item number 5, application for community right to bid under the Localism Act, and over to you, Tim.
Thank you very much. This report presents applications to list 2 properties as assets of community value. These are the Rose and Crown, Main Street, Askham Richard, submitted by Askham Richard Parish Council, and Vernon House, Vernon Close in Bishopthorpe, again the application submitted by Bishopthorpe Parish Council. Both applications have been checked as correct and valid by colleagues in legal services. The owners and occupiers of both properties have been consulted on the application, and the report sets out the reasons why they think that these 2 properties should be listed as such. The owner of the Rose and Crown, Sam Smith's Brewery, have not responded to the consultation, and the property is currently vacant, therefore no response from any occupier. The owner of Vernon House is City of York Council, managed by Housing Services. They have responded that they have no objection to the proposed listing. And in this case, the occupiers are actually Bishopthorpe Parish Council themselves. I have no updates to the report itself before you. And for the reasons set out in this report, the recommendation is that both properties should be listed as assets of community value.
Thank you. And I've spoken to members of the Parish Council this morning who are here in the room, who are very keen to see particularly the Rose and Crown listed. I'm very happy to follow the recommendation in the report and approve the listing for both the Rose and Crown and Vernon House. And with that, there's no urgent business, so we close. Thank you very much, everyone.